Ja, kan jy. Hier so staan bietjie weg van daar.
I'm gonna go slowly up. Nee, maar as ek dit skieurig.
En ons wil vir jou wag, ek beloof jou.
Ek nie so stadig.
Ja, so kom by ons.
Okay.
Everyone please come along.
Sorry.
Ja, ek wou Gries vat.
Die maklikste Frans wat?
Om vooruit te staan.
So dan kan jy sien.
Guys, can you pay attention? Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, good day. I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity for me doing this today. And as we all have to start somewhere, thank you Maria for getting us here at this point. I'm going to kick off with my cards today, just to make sure I don't lose any valuable information I wish to share from my heart with all of you today. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here today. I've just said that. The history of the majestic, tough, durable heroism, valor, often coupled with suffering and sacrifice. This large, grey, voortrekker monument, granite colossal, is visible from all directions as you approach Pretoria. The Dutch-speaking pioneers, called the voortrekkers, were only one of many ethnic groups on the move in the 19th century, escaping British rule in the Cape Colony, leaving the history of the Great Trek, 1835 to 1846, a migration to the unknown. The Voortrekker Monument is a beacon of hope, inaugurated 1949. My name is Marinda Van Rooyen. I was born and raised in Pretoria and grew up in the shadow of this beautiful monument. As a young, conservative girl, we came to the monument annually, every year, the 16th of December. As a child, I didn't understand much. I didn't understand of what was happening, other than knowing that this day was marked with victory against the mighty Zulus, the Battle of Blood River, and the day of the Big Vow, 16th December 1938, as well as the Great Trek. I will tell you all about that as we proceed along the tour. In the Christian religion, a vow is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. In the province of KwaZulu-Natal, 16th of December was known as a public holiday named Dingani's Day, named after the Zulu king Dingaan. He was renowned for his strategic buffalo tactics, and he was a feature of and a powerful adversary. This indicates the different culture and ethnic interpretations of history. Now, in our country, it signifies the progress of our unification and is named Day of Reconciliation. So guys, we are going to proceed with the tour. I hope you all have your shoelaces tight. But before we can do that, there are just a few things I need to bring under your attention. We will have 130 steps to the top. If you're out of breath, please, we will wait for each other. We are going to proceed for at least 45 minutes as a group together, whereafter I will give you all free time to explore on your own. The few administrative things and logistical matters, I just need to know if there's anyone. I see someone on crutches with knee problems, heart conditions, diabetics, anyone that's allergic. Should you be, I wish you to have an EpiPen with you or just bring it to my attention. In case of emergency, once we're inside, so we will have to evacuate due to any circumstance, I'm going to ask you to please remain calm. Walk fast, don't run on the highly polished floors, and we will meet each other all downstairs here at the parking lot, safe and sound.
Where's the entrance and where's the exit there?
the exit, you will follow what I just say to you now in my next sentence. Once you're inside the museum, just observe. The exit signs are everywhere marked, and right at the bottom, when you go through the museum area, you can come along on the outside of museum into the garden. There's an exit there, but the front door can also be used in case of emergency as an exit. We will be entering the museum at the Hall of Heroes, whereby I will show you some of the historical friezes. And thereafter you have 30 minutes, that I've already said to you, sorry. Don't forget to go downstairs to visit the museum's exhibition and the original artifacts from the Great Track. Thank you for obeying museum's rules and regulations at all times. Make sure you hydrate from here to the top. You may use flash photography inside. You may drink water, but please don't eat once you're inside the museum. The VCs are on the left as we go up to the top, just before the Iron Gate. On the left is the women and on the right is the men. If anyone needs to go quickly as possible. I will meet you at the Iron Gate. Okay, we may proceed.
Okay.
Just mind the step when you walk down here. Does anyone need assistance? Because there is a wheelchair. You're welcome to walk along the wheelchair side.
Okay, come. Who's got my battery? You.
Francois.
Okay, yeah.
Just come along. Okay, guys, just be careful of the steps. Use the handrails if you have to. Because I will, in a normal situation, I will pay attention to you. Okay, I'm going to stand here. This is the newest edition of the Voortrekker Monument. Who knows what it is?
A Cook Sisters.
Cook Sister. Do you know what a Cook Sister is?
As far as I know, what we eat. We've got a Cook Sister. I don't know what the other one.
A lot of calories.
A lot of calories. Very sweet. When I said to my friend, I'm going to tell you it tastes like baklava, she said to me, no. Okay, a Cook Sister is a dough. It's a South African delicacy. You deep fry the dough in oil. Then you take it out and dip it in warm syrup, so it sucks up all the sweet syrup. It's sticky and yummy when you eat it. And it's also a selfie spot. So when you have free time afterwards, feel free to sit here and take a selfie with the majestic monument behind you. And I brought along some Cook Sisters for everyone to taste.
Wow!
Wow.
Don't mind your sticky fingers.
To keep them out.
Pick them off. I do have one.
Basically, they were for their own benefit.
It's our energy.
This is at our energy boost. So don't worry about the sugar content because I promise you, you will walk it down today.
Yeah, they just have to eat before.
There was a place
There's
here
going to be ample of time and I don't want to go home with one in my packet.
in Pretoria West. There was a place called Springbok Cook Sisters. They were the most famous guys.
Cook Sisters.
No, yeah, in Pretoria West, just at the back.
Francois?
Ah, thank you.
Thank
So
you very
when
much.
my tourists are here, I always assure that they do eat at least milk tart, our other traditional pudding.
And who baked this? You.
Pa. Was lekker.
I love them.
You're welcome.
But if they're not
Enjoy.
crunchy, they're horrible.
Ja.
Who has a sweet tooth? May I offer you another one to get rid of my package, please?
Thank you. Seeing I
You're
walked up these
welcome.
stairs twice, anyway.
Exactly, don't worry about it. You're going to have the other one. Have you ever eaten this before?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you like it?
I in high school.
In high
I'm
school?
Marinda.
That was a long time ago though, eh?
Not longer than yours.
And we got crunchy ones, because sometimes they're not crunchy,
Yeah,
and those are not lekker.
sometimes they're too dry.
If they're not crunchy, they are yuck.
Petra, sorry, I'm also sticky here now. Thank you for assisting me with this. I really appreciate that.
Ek's ook met Gina die werk gedoen.
Everybody for alright. The symbol for Orania, the symbol there is the Cook sister.
Ah.
You know Orania? That Afrikaner self state.
Excuse me for 1 second, I'm just going to try this in the tray.
Their symbol is the Cook sister. Yes, the monument. And also the Cook sister, they say, comes from the Cape Malay Cook sister.
Wow.
It's a little bit more spicy with coconuts, round. And we can also call it a twisted sister.
We don't need to take it.
Lekker brownie. See, they organized this guides. She's got wet wipes. And she had the, is it yellow?
Yeah. I was going to
Honestly.
carry me because my back broke.
Very well, good.
Okay guys, sorry I didn't abandon you, I'm back with you. We're going to walk up these steps. Oh, just turn around for 1 second everyone. I want you to look at the beautiful black cast iron gate. It represents the spears. The spear is a wooden shaft with a leaf-shaped blade from steel, and that was used by the Zulus in their war attacks. Okay, and it also represents the power of Zulu Dangane, the king of the Zulus. So let's go up to the top. Please follow me.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
In general, are you all here? Okay. In general, this garden represents vegetation and plants from the area where the Groot Trek took place, from the Cape Colony towards the Transvaal area. And I was, I think, 10 years old when I did one of my first school tasks about the beautiful coral tree. They flower in red bloom, and you can always see them.
And they're quite early. That's the first
They
sign of
are a
spring
bit
normally.
early, I will also
Yeah,
say. Because,
yes.
But that's how
Yeah.
our seasons are messed up lately. No,
And the beads, don't the Zulu use it in necklaces?
the necklaces and so,
Lucky
yes.
beads. Yeah.
And even the clivias always only bloom I know they bloom once you transplant them, but normally in September.
Yeah.
Okay guys, I want you to observe the lager around you. I'm going to talk a bit about the lager. The monument was designed by Gerard Moerdijk, and what I also want to say to you, he used the geometric order of the National Monument of Nations that is standing in Leipzig. And sorry, I'll come back to the lager now. I just want to go follow my cards here because I don't want to leave out any information. If you look at the monument, it is granite blocks. It reaches 62 meters high, and it stands on a base of 40 by 40 meters. And the idea of building this emerged in 1888. The construction began in 1937 and was finished 12 years later. It was built by an Italian company named Cusani, and that time it costed 175,000
Sure.
pounds. Okay.
How much is it in today's terms?
Yeah.
175 times 20, what's the right, 21?
Times the inflation. Today it's
Don't
probably
forget
And the
about that.
years.
millions.
We're
And the years.
mathematicals.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm just going to bring your attention back to the lager. The lager symbolizes it's a decorative concrete and a compromise of 64 wagons. It symbolized the protection of the monument. Each wagon is 4.6 meter long, 2.7 meter high, and weigh approximately 8 tons. The ox wagons are tented wagons, was in the Great Track area, and that served as transport as well as dwelling places where they could prosper beyond British control. These also, and on the bottom of the monument you will be looking at an original ox wagon. An ox wagon were drawn in a lard, and that is what we are observing. And if you have time and you want to walk around, you will see that. And it was pulled by approximately 16 oxen. And in some instances, the men were on hunting and or rapid parties, or raid parties, women, children, and servants perished at surprise attacks from the Zulus at night. And the escarpment, for instance, at the escarpment around Blaukrans, the Battle of Blaukrans. The number of wagons presented here today is the exact same amount of wagons that was pulled in lard at the Battle of Blood River. The travels were tough, the north unknown, and largely unpopulated, hence theirs for taking. To the left, on the east side of the monument, when you go down into the gardens, there is a full track route explained in the gardens, and you're welcome to walk there. If you go there, the roads are very narrow. So try to stick to the roads. It's rocky, it's uneven, but it gives you a great idea of how far those people were pulling these ox wagons along the way. Okay, so we may proceed. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yep.
Are you all good?
We just worked out it cost about 4 million rand
Yes,
in those days.
it's 170,000.
Thank you so much for that, Lerato.
No,
these-
Christopher.
Christopher.
Are these ox
This
wagons?
is Lerato.
Are these ox wagons life size, or do you know?
They are life size.
They are life size. That's how big they were.
So that was 3 million rands. No, almost 4 million. Yeah, because it's 399. Yeah, that was 4 million rands that time.
In 1932.
Yes, 1932.
So guys, may
now
we
we're
proceed?
talking about
Do you all
Yeah.
have your breath ready for the excursion to the top?
Are we
Let's do
going all
so.
the way up now?
We are going all the way up. I'm just going to stop in
There is
front
a
of
lift.
the women
Yes, there is
first,
a
okay? But I said to you, we'll take it easy, we'll have halfway rest. Please feel free to use the handrails.
Hoe lang hardloop jy al?
Is it alright?
Ja, ons gaan aan bos so. Met 18 minute. Ja.
Okay, so this beautiful woman and child sculpture was done by Anton van Wouw. It represents the strength and the courage the women endured during the Great Trek. And the black wildebeest you see is an indication of the dangers of Africa. And on the four corners of the monument, you will see over there is a head. Those statues weigh approximately 6 tons.
Wow.
And it represents the Voortrekker leaders, Pieter Retief, Andries Pretorius, Hendrik Potgieter. And there's one unknown who represents all the other track leaders, of which we don't have all the names to be mentioned here today. Okay, so guys, we're going to start climbing the steps.
Is that what did we mention? The wildebeest?
These are
Black.
the blue
Oh,
wildebeest,
black.
and do you remember I said to you the Zulu attack, they used the buffalo tactique. You can see that's why the buffalo is also up there. The horn shape, the attacks was structured in the shape of the
okay.
horns, and that is why that's what the buffalo represents.
And also protection of the monument.
Yeah, also for protection.
This is the black
Black.
wildebeest.
Black.
Why is it the black? Ek kon dit sien.
Now who knows?
Ek het geweet. Die
You don't know. Okay, the shape of the horns are different than the blue wildebeest. The horns go like this, and they have a white tip on the tail. You can obviously not see now.
and they're smaller,
There's a
is it?
difference between
Yeah.
the black and the blue wildebeest.
And the black wildebeest is endemic to the Highveld, to this area. The blue wildebeest is in the bushveld.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Okay.
As 'n mens dan maar net vat hoe hulle hierdie plek moes gebou het, nê.
Just going to assist over here.
Katja, don't you want
You
this
also want
one?
to walk on the other side. So you can hold with your hand on this side. I can help you as well.
That's okay. That's okay. Nee, jy moet kyk. Dankie dat jy kyk vir. Sy moes ek hart vas.
Dis dan maar 'n rand kan kry vir elke voet wat op hierdie trappe geloop het al.
Ja.
What you see in front of you is the CBD area, the Central Business District of Pretoria. Who know what the tallest building is over there? Chris, you go? The Reserve Bank. And that is the black building. When I was a child growing up, it was the white one, Volkskas, with 40 floors. And we always used to go there over Christmas time, going up the elevator, and we could see everything. Those years there was no Brooklyn, no Mainland Mall, and that was town. We came to town once a month, and that was the biggest dream to go up in this very high building. So that's the skyline of Pretoria you see. And over there, it is a bit hazy now, but the red roof, can you recognize the union buildings?
Yes.
That's the Parliament offices. And then we move a bit more east. You see the white buildings over there. The ship, they talk about the ship, is the tall white building, the furthest one to the right. That's the University of Pretoria, the main entrance. And the Telkom Tower. When you are going inside afterwards, when you go to the first level of the monument, you will be able to have a beautiful view, 360 degrees around, where you can see the northern, eastern, southern and western side. On the western side you will see buildings that is the military base, the military hospital. To the southern side will be Joburg. And I hope you all have your cameras ready because it's lovely to take pictures from up there. Okay, are we good? Can we proceed?
Mooi deur.
I'm just going to make a stop here, one more last stop before we go in. Anyone who would like to sit on the bench over here?
It's okay.
Would you like to sit down a bit, ma'am?
That's fine.
Are you sure? Good, 100%. So we are looking at the cornerstone of the not the Union Building, the Fort Tracker Monument. This is the eastern corner where I'm standing, and it was laid in the 16 December 1938, and the museum was inaugurated in 1949. Okay, so there are 5 important things that's entombed in this monument stone. Do you have any idea what it might be? Pietra?
It's the Santrafeer Convention, a copy of the Santrafeer Convention
That is correct.
that they signed. The
the two other memorabilia.
And other memorabilia. Okay, let's start with the first one. The first one was a copy of South Africa's initial Dutch settler, Jan van Riebeeck, who arrived, of his diary, who arrived 6th of April 1952 in the Cape Colony. Then there is a family Bible, and with the family Bible, you will see what I mean downstairs. They were huge, they were in Dutch, and they were this thick. There's a family Bible enthroned here, and a copy of the vow that was written for the preparation of the Battle of Blood River in 1838. And then also there's a copy of the national anthem, Die Stem, as it used to be, and today there's also a part of the original anthem in Nkosi Sikelel, our current anthem. And then the land deal. The land deal took place between Retief and Dingane. 100%. So okay guys, we're going to go inside now. Are you all good?
Don't mind about hot and cold.
Yeah.
Choose one of them.
I'm thankful that we didn't get snow this morning.
Yes,
so
and it's going to be
just mind your eyes will get used to the dark.
And my glasses.
Ja.
I'm just going to have a small standing here and you can face it for me. I will stand here with my back. You guys can just stand here that you can all hear me and can all see me. Are your eyes okay with the darkness? You dimmed. Lenses contracted and enlarged. Okay, look at this beautiful monument. What do we see? Let's start with the cupola structure above our heads. The dome. It's made of concrete and steel, and it's very similar to what we have in France, the Dôme des Invalides. Coming down, the four arch windows have Belgium imported glass, 1,072 pieces in each window. The marble frieze is 313 meters. It is the longest marble frieze in the world.
Marble?
A marble frieze. And if you look at the floor, the zigzag pattern, the zigzag pattern is made, it's all from marble. It represents water encircling out, flowing out. And it is cornered with the four corners of the monument catching the rays once the sun shines through the opening in the dome. I want you to come towards the cenotaph area. Mind the wall, it is very low. But you can just look down and then I tell you about it more. Can we just all group together? Maybe come stand this side of me. So the cenotaph you are currently looking at is an empty stone. Can you all hear me over there?
Yep.
It is an empty stone in honor of the voortrekkers who died elsewhere. People often incorrectly call it as sarcophagus, the discussion we just had in our briefing before. And just out of interesting sake, what is different about the sarcophagus and the cenotaph? Both are tombs, but the cenotaph is empty, while the sarcophagus originates from Egyptian stone coffins. Based on the victory of 1838, where the Zulus were defeated at the slaughter of Blood River, the voortrekkers believed that God favored them due to the vow they made. In the week preceding the battle, the vow was written as a by the religious leader Sadel Salier, and it was read every day. The voortrekkers promised God that if he helped them to win, they would do three things, which they did. They first built a church in Pietermaritzburg, and they annually commemorate the day as a Sabbath day, And they also raise the children to remember and to commemorate the day as a holy day. Henceforth, the voortrekkers and the most Afrikaans people believed that they were God's children and God had favour to them. And every year on the 16th of December at noon, the sun ray comes through that opening up there and it shines right onto the scripture, "We for you, South Africa." It's a split second where the sun will move. And even as I've been here many times, it can be cloudy, it can be rainy. Come noon, the heavens open up and the sun ray comes through. Okay guys, I'm going to do, there are 27 panels. I am not going to bore you with all of it, but I want to point out 2 or 3 of these important parts that happened in history, and then I'm going to tell you what we do thereafter. Are there any questions? Are you all good? You all hear me? Are you cold and freezing?
It's cold, ja.
Okay, let's hurry up to get to hot chocolate. Let's start at panel 1. If anyone feels like sitting, there are benches along the way. Okay? I'm going to ask you if you could just align in a half moon like that, then I can see you all. Okay, this was the great exodus from the Cape Colony. The British took over the Cape, so had their own sets and rules, and the Dutch farmers decided they're not settling for this. So they packed their wagons, the tented camps, like you can see there, with everything they owned, the dwelling place and the transport, everything was packed here. The sheep, the cattle, the servants, 17,000 people started migrating towards the north unknown. And as you can see, pots and pans, kettles, everything had to come along. The whip to keep the oxen in track. Is there anything you observe from this? The music instruments, yes. And I promise you, if it was played, there was this big family Bible too. Where do you see the Bible? Okay, that's on the panel 2, yes. Yeah. Yes, 100%. Okay, so let's proceed to another panel. This is panel 4. I'm just waiting for everyone to come along. Okay, this is panel 4. Here you see Andries Pretorius. Andries Pretorius arrived. Louis Trichardt, you're correct, sorry. Louis Trichardt waited for Andries Pretorius' party to join him at the Zuidpansberg, and by August 1837 he got tired of waiting and he proceeded to Lorenzo Mark. They needed to get to the ocean, they needed to have trade routes. So he arrived at Lorenzo Marks or Galagoa Bay, and unfortunately they went over the Drakensberg. It was not an easy ride for them, and they encountered tsetse flies and malaria. And him and most of his party succumbed, unfortunately, from malaria, as well as the cattle from the tsetse flies. And later on, some of the remaining men was taken to Durban. Okay, so then we proceed further.
Is van die mens was nie ook by weet
Ja,
ek. Want hulle het gesterf met hulle was uitgewis.
Ja, die langhans van Weens.
Ja, hulle was uitgewis met saam met hulle aanbeveel.
This is just to show us that Piet Retief got inaugurated as the leader of the governor of the voortrekkers. I'm going to skip a few of the
Hoeveel minute staan er?
Ek kan nie my bril op lees.
34.
Hoeveel moet ons gaan?
Ja.
Okay.
Ja, so 6.
Are you all here? Can you hear me? Are you guys good? Yes. Are you good? Super. Okay, this is where things went wrong. There were agricultural patches, and we have Dengane and Piet Retief signing the treaty. The treaty was about cattle that was stolen, and land usage was promised to Retief if he would have brought all Dingaan's cattle back to him. But that day when they arrived here, there was already things that pre-happened, and Dingaan wasn't very pleased with any of the voortrekkers. But they didn't know it. So he was a very, very superstitious guy. The thing that went wrong was that there was an Englishman named Thomas Halstead that peeked over the secluded wooden fence the night before. And that was where Dingaan and his woman lived. Now imagine the Zulu women were bare-breasted, and they knew about it, and all the Zulus who knew about this guy that peeped knew that death penalty was the punishment for that. So Piet Retief came, it was 3rd of February 1838, and a few days afterwards he invited them back. And there were 3 witnesses on a koppie named Moordkoppie, Murder Hill, that witnessed what happened and what went wrong that day. After they signed the treaty, the guys were invited back there, and he had war dancers encircling the men. Their weapons were left outside because they came in peace to the Zulu king. And one thing I just want to mention to you, the fact that Retief didn't take his hat off was disrespecting the Zulu culture. So that is the cultural clashes that took place. He saw it as disrespect to him. And they were higher, and also the other guy's eyes were moving, and they couldn't keep the eyes off his woman. And you don't look at his woman. You just don't do it in their culture. So the war warriors started dancing, and they could hear them from the koppie where they were observing, and they moved closer and closer and closer, and they encircled them and they instruct them, and they literally killed these guys with clubs. And unfortunately, Retief was killed last. He had to witness all of his men, I think it was 70 men that was with him that day, being killed. They killed his own son in front of his eyes, and they brutally killed him. They opened up his chest, his heart, and his liver was given to Dingaan in a cloth afterwards. So, yeah, that was sadly, but it's true, it's history, it happened. So let's move on.
Ek dink ons is nou tyd.
Okay. Ja, maar nog so.
Okay.
Dit doen as wat vas is.
So we are looking at panel 20 and 21. There was Sarelsel here doing the pledge and of the vow. And that was the week, like I said to you earlier on, between the 9th to the 15th of December. The vow was read out loud every day, and they all believe that they are going to have God on their side to win this battle. And during the battle on the 16th of December at Mkume River, there was 470 voortrekkers who defeated 3,000 Zulus. By grace, only 3 voortrekkers were wounded and 3,000 Zulus were killed. Sorry, correction, it was 20,000 Zulus, of which 3,000 died. And the river looked like blood, and therefore the name turned from Ngumi to Blood River that day.
Okay,
Okay, can you give me a second? Okay. So guys, this all remains historical moments in history. The people endured, the monument endures forth, and this is going to be an everlasting story forever to be told. And for now, you can feel free to explore. I just want to make note of you once more. Mind the little door on that side of your head. If you go down, and you can go with the steps upwards as well. So feel free to explore upstairs and downstairs. Remember the ox wagon I told you downstairs. There's a beautiful 15-panel tapestry 122 carriage of
Wow.
Penelope wool were used. Nine years later, was it 8 years, 9 women, or vice versa, were weaving this of the whole scene, and all the facts they have is from people's diaries, and you will see original artifacts downstairs. You can exit through the museum area, and then we're going to go along, and I will meet you outside in the parking lot, so you have approximately 30 minutes to explore. Thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for being here today, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you have learned something.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Daar sê nou klaar.